You want to win. Everyone says that. It sounds good. It feels powerful when you say it out loud. But what you really want is the reward, the victory, the recognition. You don't actually want the process. You don't want the part where it hurts, where it drains you, where every step forward feels like dragging your body through concrete. That's the part you try to skip. And that's exactly why you stay where you are. Winning isn't something you decide one day and suddenly have. It's something you earn, piece by piece, through things most people won't tolerate. Pain isn't something that gets in your way, it is the way. Every drop of sweat, every moment your body tells you to stop, that's the real path. If you're avoiding that, then you're avoiding the only thing that actually leads anywhere. People look at me now and think it was easy. They think I was chosen or lucky or different from the start. But I wasn't. I was just a guy. No talent, no special ability. No hidden power waiting to awaken. Just someone who got tired of being weak and decided to do something about it. No matter how boring, painful, or pointless it felt in the moment. Every single day, I pushed myself past what felt reasonable. Not heroic, not exciting, just repetitive. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, running until my legs felt like they would collapse, and then doing it again the next day. No music, no cheering crowd, no guarantee it would even work. Just effort, repeated until it became something else. There were days my body screamed at me to stop. Days where I thought I was wasting my time. Days where quitting would have made everything easier, and that's the point. Anyone can keep going when it's easy. Anyone can try when they feel good, but the moment it hurts, that's where most people disappear. If you want to win, you have to understand something simple. You are going to bleed. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. Your confidence will crack. Your motivation will disappear. You will doubt yourself more times than you can count. And if you're not ready for that, then you're not ready for what comes after it. Because the truth is, nobody cares about your excuses. Not your circumstances, not your bad days, not your lack of motivation. The world doesn't adjust itself to make your path easier. It just keeps moving. And if you stop, even for a second too long, you get left behind without anyone noticing. You think you need inspiration. You think you need the perfect moment to start. But those things don't last. They fade. What matters is what you do when you feel nothing. When you're tired, bored, and completely unmotivated. That's when your real strength shows up, or disappears. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't feel powerful. It's quiet, repetitive, almost invisible. It's choosing to keep going when there's no reward in sight. It's doing the same thing again and again until it becomes part of who you are. Most people won't do that. That's why most people never change. At some point, the pain stops feeling like something you need to avoid. It becomes something familiar, something expected. You stop asking, why is this happening? And start understanding this is part of it. That shift is where everything changes. Winning isn't about a single moment. It's not the final punch. It's everything that came before it. Every failure, every mistake, every time you kept going when stopping made more sense. Those are the real victories. The rest is just the result. People want shortcuts, faster results, easier paths. But shortcuts don't build strength. They build illusions. And illusions don't last when things get real. When pressure hits, when things fall apart, only what you've truly built stays standing. You don't need to be special. You don't need talent. You don't need anyone to believe in you. All you need is the decision to keep going, longer than everyone else is willing to. That's it. It's simple. Not easy, but simple. The hardest part isn't starting. It's continuing. Day after day, when nothing changes. When progress feels invisible. When you question if any of it even matters. That's where most people stop. And that's exactly where you shouldn't. Because one day, without realizing it, you'll look back and see how far you've come. Not because of one big moment, but because you didn't quit during 1,000 small ones. That's what builds something real. So if you really want to win, stop asking for it to be easy. Stop waiting for the right feeling. Stop avoiding the pain. Accept it. Walk into it. Let it break you down and build you into something stronger. Because in the end, the difference between those who win and those who don't is simple. One group stops when it hurts, the other keeps going. And if you're willing to bleed, to push past everything telling you to quit, then winning isn't a matter of if, it's just a matter of time. People love the idea of growth until it actually starts happening. Because growth doesn't feel like progress in the moment. It feels like pressure. It feels like confusion. Like things are getting worse instead of better. And that's where most people turn back, thinking they've made a mistake. But that discomfort, that resistance, that's not failure. That's the beginning. You think strength comes from winning over and over again, from smooth paths and easy victories. But that kind of strength is fragile, the kind that breaks the moment something unexpected happens. Real strength is built when things don't go your way, when nothing works, when you're forced to adapt, to endure, to keep moving without knowing if it'll pay off. There was nothing impressive about how I started. No dramatic moment, no sudden breakthrough, just frustration. Just the realization that I was tired of being average, and the decision to do something about it. Not once, not for a week, but every single day, whether I felt like it or not. And that's what people don't understand. Rising isn't explosive, it's quiet, it's repetitive. It's showing up on days that feel completely meaningless. Doing the same work when there's no visible result, no applause, no confirmation you're even improving. Just effort, stacked on top of effort. And the harder it gets, the more valuable it becomes. Because difficulty filters people out. It forces choices. Stay the same or push through. Most people hesitate. They negotiate with themselves. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later, and slowly, they drift back to where they started. But if you keep going, something changes. Not instantly, not dramatically, just a shift. The same challenges that once felt overwhelming start to feel manageable. Not because they got easier, but because you got stronger. You stop reacting, stop panicking, stop doubting every step. You begin to move with certainty. Not because you know the outcome, but because you trust your ability to handle whatever happens next. That's the difference. Rising isn't about escaping difficulty. It's about becoming the kind of person who can stand inside it without breaking, who can keep moving when everything says stop. People ask for easier paths, less resistance, fewer obstacles. But those things don't create strength, they create comfort. And comfort doesn't prepare you for anything real. If you want to rise, you have to accept that it's going to feel heavy, that progress will be slow, that you won't always feel motivated or confident or ready, and you move anyway. Because rising isn't about how you feel, it's about what you do despite how you feel. That's where the separation happens. That's where people either grow or stay exactly the same. At some point, you'll realize something strange. The things you once avoided, you now face without hesitation. The pressure that once overwhelmed you barely affects you. Not because life changed, but because you did. That's when you understand. You don't rise when things are easy. You don't grow when everything goes your way. You rise in resistance, in struggle, in moments where quitting would be the most logical choice. And every time you choose to continue, even when it's hard, you build something most people never will. A level of resilience that doesn't rely on conditions. A mindset that doesn't break under pressure. It won't feel dramatic. There won't be a moment where everything suddenly makes sense. It'll just be different. You'll be different, stronger, calmer, more certain. And you'll realize it came from all those moments you didn't quit. So stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop wishing for less resistance. That's not how this works. If anything, it's supposed to get harder. Because that's the only way you rise. In the end, it's simple. Anyone can stand when it's easy. Anyone can move when there's no weight holding them down. But rising, real rising, happens when everything is against you, and you move anyway. At some point, you stop waiting. Not because things got better, but because you finally understand they won't. No one is coming to fix your situation. No sudden opportunity. No perfect moment. No hand reaching down to pull you out. Just you, exactly where you are, with everything you've been avoiding. That realization feels heavy at first. It strips away comfort. It removes the illusion that something external will change your life. And what's left is responsibility. Not the kind you can ignore. The kind that stays with you until you either face it or let it define you. People like to believe they need support, the right environment, the perfect conditions to grow. But those things are temporary. They disappear when things get hard. And when they do, The only thing left is what you built within yourself. I didn't have anyone guiding me. No mentor. No special path. Just a decision. A simple one. To stop relying on anything outside of me and start doing what needed to be done. No matter how repetitive, boring, or painful it felt. That's where most people hesitate. They wait for motivation, for clarity, for reassurance that they're on the right path. But none of that shows up in the beginning. You move first. You act first. And understanding comes later. It's not dramatic. There's no moment where everything suddenly clicks. Just small actions, repeated over time. Days where nothing feels different. Weeks where progress is invisible. And still, you continue. Because once you accept that no one is coming, something changes. You stop looking around, stop comparing, stop waiting. Your focus narrows. It becomes simple. Do the work. Improve. Repeat. That simplicity is powerful. No distractions, no excuses, just a clear understanding that everything depends on you. Not in a stressful way, but in a freeing one. You start to build something most people never do. Self-reliance. Not confidence based on outcomes, but trust in your ability to handle whatever happens. And when things go wrong, because they will, you don't fall apart. You adjust. You keep moving. Not because it's easy, but because stopping isn't an option anymore. That's the difference. Waiting creates weakness. Action builds strength. The longer you wait for something external, the longer you stay the same. You don't need saving. You need discipline. You need consistency. You need the willingness to move forward even when there's no guarantee it will work. Because over time, those small actions turn into something else. Strength. Not the kind that shows off, but the kind that doesn't break. You become quieter, more focused, less reactive. Not because you don't care, but because you've learned that results come from action, not emotion. And eventually, you reach a point where you don't look for help anymore. Not because you can't accept it, but because you no longer depend on it. So if you're waiting for something to change your life, stop. That moment doesn't exist. This is it. Right here, with whatever you have. No one is coming to save you. And that's not a bad thing, because it means you don't need anyone to. Everything you need to become stronger is already in front of you. You just have to act.